to update a state of variable or update a variable in React in general, you need to use two functions which they are called UseState and UseEffect. I am talking here about React in general. So for that, you need to import them from React. You need to have curved brackets, and then you say UseState, and also you need to use effect. So in this way, you will be able to use those library to update some specific variables to update as well the screen. So in that way, the application is listening always to that variable to update or render the screen in the right way. So first of all, you need to define a variable using the UseState. So how we can do that? First of all, you need to define the crypto list item in a way inside your home screen component. So I will go here to the first line. Normally you put them as well in the home screen, like on the first line of the component after the home screen. So I will say here that to define a variable, you can use the same name which we have used here. So I will call it a crypto list as well. So we can have here crypto list, and then you need to say set crypto list. So we need to set that variable on every update comes from the backend. So in that way, you will be able to define or use that variable as a variable like this one. So let's remove this part here. And then we are going to say that crypto list and set crypto list is from type or defined as a UseState. So this is a function which is returned for me array of two items. One is called crypto list and the other is called set crypto list. Let's comment out this part for now until we come back to it later. So in general, those are two variables. And we are getting error here because you need to put here a const. So in that way, you will be able to use that variable again or that constant again in your application as you see here. Okay, now everything is fine. So first of all, we need to set crypto list. So this set crypto list is a function, and this is the constant which will hold the result of set crypto list. So I hope you understand it now. So in that way, always to keep the state of the application to refresh the screen, you need to put the things which are changing always as a UseState. So for that, we need to set a crypto list. So for that, it's like you are going to say here socket.io and you say set crypto list with data. So this is going to work. But UseState is always coming with something called UseEffect. UseEffect is very important for keeping the redundancy or the repeating of the event, how it's happening to render the screen, to control that. Sometimes when you are calling some data from API, then it's going, if you use like set crypto list, it's going to be executed unlimited times and it's going to make your application crashing. So to control that, it's better to use the UseEffect. Using UseEffect is very simple. You just need to use it, or first of all you need to import it and then say UseEffect. It will be like a function, and the first parameter is the function as well. So it's a function with a call, like we can say a callback, and inside this callback you can do whatever you want to set, for example a crypto list. But it's very important to have the second parameter here to be an empty array. Actually, this parameter is showing how many times this effect will be executed. So it's better to set it as, in our case, of course, as an empty array. So nothing is going to happen. It's going to be executed every time we get some data from the backend, and it will not cause our application to be crashed. So I am going to move this part here and then put it inside the UseEffect. So exactly in this way. So I uncommented it, and now I am going to say, okay, every message comes, set the crypto list with the data which is coming with this message. And then the crypto list is getting updated, and it's going to feel the change from the flat list, and it will render for me the screen again. Let's try that. So now we don't have anything. We wait for first render, and we have here the first sent data. I set it to be every 10 seconds. Of course, you can set it in the back end as you want, as we saw before. So here we have the data is getting updated. I am going to make it faster. So I will put it like, let's say every 5 seconds. So here I will go and I will go to my, I am on the back end, by the way. So here I updated. So we lost connection. I refresh. So first 5 seconds it's going to be data, and again it will be another 5 seconds with a new data. So you can make it even faster every 1 second. So here I lost connection. I refresh again my application, and we get here every second a new prices. So it's ugly a little bit how we have a lot of floating numbers. We can fix that easily by replacing this item.price with something else. So I will say here, okay, item price is not going to be like this, but we can use a library which is called math. So I will say here, instead of this, I will say math is defined library in JavaScript, and then I will say round. And the way to get like two items or two floating numbers after the number to make like some mathematics. So you need to be good in mathematics a little bit. So now I am going to say math.round, and then I will divide by 100. So I will multiply the price with 100 and divide it by 100 and make the round. So in that way, I will have two floating numbers. So as you see here, we got the prices in more nice way. Of course, if you want, you can make it like 1000, and again you can divide it by 1000. Then you will get three floating numbers as you see here, and the prices are getting updated. And now when I click on one of the coins, I'm getting the ID of it. And in the next section, we are going to see how we can list all detail of the coin using our API which we created to get the detail of the coin by ID.